Hello, everyone. Welcome to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, one of his more famous plays that he did. Kind of up there with Romeo and Juliet. And man, this is one of my favorites, partly because it's a comedy, but I also just love love stories, and there's a lot of fairy aspects in this in this whole play. So one of my favorites. We're gonna start here with Act One, Scene One. But before we can really get into summary of what's going on, we need to take a moment and look at the characters, because there are a bunch of characters, and it can get very confusing remembering which one is which. So in this first scene, we have the first set of human characters. And so the first one is Theseus, who is the king of Athens. Now, I'm not sure if this comes out later in the story, but Theseus actually went to battle with Hippolyta, and she is the queen of the Amazons, the Amazonian women that were like warrior women. And so he defeated them, and he brought her back, and they fell in love, and they're going to get married. So he actually says there in the very beginning, I won your heart with my sword, because we battled and you loved me when we were battling. But now I'm going to have a party, and we're going to get married in a proper wedding fashion kind of thing, with a party. But that's kind of these two characters. Theseus is the king of Athens, and Hippolyta is the former queen of Athens, or not of Athens, of the Amazonians. The next character here is Aegeus. Aegeus is a father, okay, and he's Hermia's father. Who's Hermia? Well, Hermia is the kind of main female character that's in love with Lysander. Lysander is the guy that loves Hermia. But before we get to Lysander, Aegeus is going to Theseus and saying, I want my daughter to marry Demetrius. Demetrius loves Hermia. But Hermia doesn't love Demetrius, right? So there's this kind of problem. But in this culture, a father can tell their daughters what to do. And so Aegeus says, King, make my daughter marry this other guy. Okay. So then we have Lysander. Lysander is just another, I don't know if these guys are nobles or maybe merchants or just gentlemen. They're just kind of men of standing. They're not slaves. They're not poor. They're about equal level of wealth, of standing, of intelligence, of beauty. But Lysander has won Hermia's heart, while Demetrius has not. And the last one here is Helena. And Helena loves Demetrius. Now, there is kind of this background story where Demetrius, I guess, pledged his love to Helena. Maybe there was some romantic involvement between them. But when Demetrius saw Hermia, he changed his mind. And Demetrius convinced Aegeus, okay, Hermia's father, to give Hermia to him to marry. And then Lysander just read poetry and sang songs at Hermia's window. So those are the kind of main characters we have right now. All right. And so hopefully as we go through this summary, you can kind of remember those pieces. So the first part here is Theseus talking with Hippolyta. Hey, we had a battle. I love you. Let's have a celebration for our love. Let's have a party and get married. And she's like, sounds great. She leaves, and Aegeus comes in here, and he is vexed. He's full of vexation. He's troubled. He's angry. He's frustrated. And he asks the king to intercede, to make a decision and come into this conflict and fix it. And I already mentioned the problem is that Hermia loves Lysander, but Aegeus wants Hermia to marry Demetrius. And Aegeus kind of says to Theseus, Lysander has tricked my daughter, and he's kind of pretending to be in love, but he's a really bad guy, and I don't want her to marry him, and she should marry who I want her to marry. Well, the king says, "Hey, look, Hermia, you are your father's, right? Your beauty, your mind, everything is because your father gave it to you, and he has the power to take it away. So, if you don't marry Demetrius, then you have two choices. One, you can die. Okay, because Aegeus said, like, if she doesn't listen to me, then I'll kill her, or disfigure her, or whatever. It says, okay, so you can choose to die, or you can choose to be a nun. And well, I don't have that option in there, but that's pretty much her choices. And she asks even the king, what are my choices here? Like, be honest with me. I love Lysander, but if I don't follow my dad, well, what's the worst that's going to happen? And Theseus says, well, you'll die or be a nun. So Lysander kind of comes in and he tries to defend his love. And he tries to convince the king to change his mind, but they're not having it. Demetrius also comes in to support his love claim, and Aegeus is like, yes, Demetrius is the one, but no one can change Hermia's mind or Lysander's mind. So finally, the king goes off and he says, Aegeus and Demetrius, I want to talk with you. Come with me. I want to give you some counsel. So the three of them go away. And so now it's just Hermia and Lysander. And they're talking. And they're saying, oh, I love you so much. Yes, I love you so much too. Oh, but love is so tragic and it's so hard and there's all these problems. What are we going to do? And then they devise a plan. Say, okay, tonight, let's leave Athens. And we'll go to Lysander's aunt's house, who's far away, and we'll live there and get married, and we'll just be far away from Athens, and no one will be able to hurt us or break our love. And Hermia says, that's a great idea. Let's do it. I love you so much. As they're concluding these plans, Helena comes in. And Helena's kind of cranky and grumpy because she loves Demetrius, and Demetrius doesn't love her anymore. And she goes up to Hermia and says, oh, Hermia, if I could just know your skills, if I could catch your talent. You know, people catch sickness all the time. Why can't I catch your skill? Why can't my eye gleam like your eye? My tongue speak like your tongue? And she's just kind of like complaining. And Hermia's like, I don't know what it is. I don't smile at him. I frown. And Helen's like, oh, I wish your frown would teach me how to smile at him like your frown does. And she's like, and I reject him with my love. I curse him with my mouth. Oh, if your curses could teach me how to curse like you do. Oh, I wish I could, you know. And Helena just keeps going back and forth saying how much she wishes she could be in Hermia's position. And Hermia's like, you can have him. You can have him. I hope the best for you. Well, to kind of cheer her up, Lysander and Hermia tell Helena their plans. Like, hey, look, we're going to run off. We're going to get married. So once we're out of the picture, maybe Demetrius will change his mind and you can have his love again. And that's what we really hope for you. We got to go. Bye. And they take off. Now, Helena just kind of thinks. And she's kind of thinking about Demetrius and how he had said he loved her, and then suddenly he saw Hermia, and then he changed his mind, and she's kind of sad about that. And then she realizes, oh, maybe if I tell Demetrius the plans that are going on, he'll change his mind back to me, and his eyes will come back to me again. And so she runs off to go talk to Demetrius. And that is how the act ends. Whew. Oh my goodness, all these names in here. I hope you've kept track. Maybe I could have added some more notes. if you have any questions with that, we can talk about it when we get together. Vocabulary. Just kind of like we did with Shakespeare, the other one, there's so many different expressions. There's so many different vocabulary words. There's Old English. There's hundreds probably just in this one act, one scene. So what I would like you to do is pick two of them that really confused you, that you couldn't really understand the sentence unless you did some research and found out these vocabulary words. Pick two of them, okay? Define those two words in the comments in the YouTube channel. Okay, that's important so that way other people can see your definitions and we can correct them together. So write your definition of two words or expressions and we'll look at those together. Discussion question. What would you do if you were Helena? And this can be a pretty broad question, okay? One, the person you love doesn't love you, they love someone else. Okay, what would you do? Or maybe you have some secret information and the person you love could benefit from this information. What would you do? Okay? There's a bunch of different aspects of this question that we could answer. And feel free to answer it in any way you like. But I want you to think about that question. If you were Helena, okay, you were in Helena's position, what would you do if you were her? Of course, please make your own discussion question. I enjoy listening to your thoughts and your ideas much more than even listening to you answer my questions. So as you're reading this scene, reading this act, think deeply about questions you have as you're reading it. Write it down so we can ask it together and share. And that is all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.